night to go.
On record.
Bob Marley sings a song that it says, emancipate yourself from
mental slavery.
mental slavery. Sometimes, because none but ourselves can free our mind. It is the truth. Sometimes we ourselves stigmatize ourselves. We cage ourselves and then project it onto the other, saying that they are.
Yeah.
You know, we do that. Listen, by no means am I saying that racism doesn't exist. It exists today. And people have to deal with it every day.
Yeah.
Different parts of the world.
Yeah.
But for me, I will not just globalize racism or say just every flat line with racism right across. No, when I have to deal with it, I deal with it.
Can I ask you a question as a doctor?
Just soon you get to ask me the question. Just let me just finish what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Yesterday or the day before I went somewhere. I went in the mall and I went in a store, and when I went in the store, I noticed that I'm the only person of color in the store. Everyone else was Caucasian in the store. You know? But it did not make me feel any way. I was normal. I take my time. I did what I have to do. I'm just like them, and they're just like me, because I did not see them as any different from me. You know?
Yeah.
Now a black person would look at the door and not go in because it's a white people's store.
Yes, and that's a real thing. Yeah. That really happens. Like, that's the thing. That really happens.
Maybe those people, those white people in that store, they don't even care you're black or white. They're not even looking at you. They're shopping. Mind you, yes, there are establishments that will be looking at you funny. I heard one time Oprah Winfrey gave an interview that she went into this, I think it's a Tiffany and Company, or I don't want to call any names unless I get it. But she went. I don't remember, but she went in a high-end luxurious store, jewelry store, to purchase, and she was being ridiculed, and as if, you know, what are you doing here? You can't afford what is. They did not know that is Oprah Winfrey. You know, and she spoke about it. So I shared that bit of information to say I know that it exists. But I am of this belief about myself, that wherever I present myself, I command that environment.
You hear what you said? All right, but on that note, there's a big thing, because I do agree with you, right? But the fact of the matter is, a lot of time, the stigma that we have today, you know, understand, they actually come from somewhere. Normally they come from our childhood, right? Our childhood. Or history. A lot of time we grew up with these childhood traumas, and they are traumas because we experience certain situations where you look at the world and you see children experiencing police brutality. You're seeing other Black children, you know, growing up under certain conditions where they're exposed to certain things, exposed to certain violence, and they grew up in these toxic, violent environments where they're experiencing things that at their age, their mind can't even comprehend or to even understand and go ahead and be like, okay, well, I can differentiate from, you know, from a racist and a normal white individual. This is the state that a lot of Black children are growing up into. Yeah. Well, coming up from, you know what I mean? And the question is, how do us as Black children, you know what I mean, growing up in these conditions, deal with these traumas, you understand, to be able to elevate ourselves to a state where we can comprehend and differentiate the difference between a normal individual dealing with these stigmas in our mind, you understand, and at the same time having an understanding of how the world works.
Okay, so you know, you can either see yourself as a victim or a victor. You can see yourself as a product of your environment, or so, or just an individual from a certain environment. Let me break it down very, very small and simple. We have doctors, lawyers, judges, high professionals coming out of the ghetto, born or raised from the ghetto.
Yeah.
Okay, because they decided that I am from the ghetto, but I am not of the ghetto.
Yes.
Okay. You take you take me out of the ghetto. Okay, and I am out. The ghetto is not in me. I was in the ghetto. The ghetto is not in me.
Completely.
All right. So you're coming from an environment, you know, a toxic environment, a racial environment. As a child, I've always said, in counseling, and this is I think this has become a motto for me now. As a child, someone else is responsible for what happens to you. Someone is responsible for you and what happens to you. As an adult, you are responsible for what happens to you and what happens for you.
Yes.
Are you going to hold on to your past, where you're coming from as a child? Are you going to hold on to what you experienced as a child? Mind you, I'm also aware that not everyone is strong emotionally to break free from their past. Some people need therapy. Some people need help. They need therapy. They need to talk to someone.
A brother, someone
Sometimes
close.
what it takes, sometimes you need to surround yourself with the people of different environment, people of different mentality, people of different reasoning.
Excuse me, Auntie.
Whatever it takes
for you. Question, Auntie.
Go ahead.
So what you're saying is that at one point in time, an individual, specifically right now we're talking about Black men, Black women, Black people, must make the choice to become what they are not stigmatized.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
A choice. You must choose.
You must make the choice. Are you gonna let the experience of your past hold you in your future?
Yeah.
Or dictate your future?
Yeah.
Or are you gonna break free from the negative past? Or the blackness. When I say blackness, I'm not talking about the skin color.
No,
or
no,
the let me you know what? Let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
Or the
stigmas,
improper, or the negative, or the bad, or the regrettable things of your past.
Yeah.
Are you gonna let all of that control your future, control who you become today, control how you think today?
Choice.
Control how you go, control what you pass on to your children. No. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna give you guys a perfect example using myself. How I grew up and the experiences that I had and the things that I endured as a child. When I became a woman and when I started having children, I purposed in my mind, not even when I became a woman, but when I started having children, when I gave birth to my son here, Jovain, I purposed in the back of my head that my experience will not be theirs.
Yes, that's my truth, Auntie.
I went through, I will not willingly, knowledgeably allow my children to go through that. I'm going to tell them different. I'm going to educate them different. I'm going to show them different.
Yes. Yes, that's my truth, Auntie. I want to
live for. Break some curses. I'm going to break some spells. I'm going to break some teachings. I'm going to teach them different.
Yes. And the only way I can do it, Auntie, and you know what? It took me as a parent, I don't feel like in my heart of heart, I don't feel like there's no other gift in this world can compare to my children. You can give me $1 billion and the $1 billion can't stay the love. Yo, Auntie, when I see my children, me feel joy to the tip of my toe. Just the picture of them. Not talk about the look on them, the picture sometime. I might tell us, Auntie, Me just love them. It's message I
let
feel
me
like
share.
nothing can compare to them now. But as we wrapping, as we get ready to
Absolutely.
start close down, Auntie, and we want to talk to you about one thing we're really on my mind when it comes to the Black experience. I feel like is the most right now is the most damning thing, but at the same time, one of the things that is bringing us up and out. But it's social media. Social media is as a black child, as JD was saying. No, you're not only affected by what you have in front of your 3D, you're affected by what's on social media and the stigmas proposed by those platforms for black people. You go on there and you will see rapper talk about, oh, man, I go drink a bottle of drugs tonight and I'm going to go smoke and then I go get three gun and drive by and kill four people and then it's messy. And then you no longer have just reality that's giving you all these stigmas to create yourself into this black person that you believe you're supposed to be. Now you got social media that's slapping you upside your head with so much BS, but at the same time, Auntie, while it's doing that to them, it's providing a means for black entrepreneurs, black artists, black creators to build a place for them to be successful with their dreams too. So it's like, what do you think about social media and the effect that it's had upon us as human beings, but specifically towards JD's comment about children and black children, how the situations we're being raised in, and social media's effect upon that too.
Okay, so you know what? Social media, it can be good and it can be bad. Whatever you, again, it's a choice. Whatever you use it for,
Yeah.
you have a choice whether you're going to watch or listen to that black rapper that is singing, talking about Henny, they call Hennessy, right? Henny and
I love her. And them call it Auntie. Yeah, man, anything possible.
okay,
Yeah.
they're gonna done a bottle and Henny and the girls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Are you gonna endorse that or support that? It's your choice.
But
If
what do
that's
you
the
do as
life
a
that you
child,
want,
Auntie? That's what I'm saying. As a
huh?
child, though, when you're 9 years
Okay,
old and you're 10 years old and your parent hands
listen,
you a cell phone and
bad
says, "Here, go do your own thing."
simple, bad parenting. If your child at 9 years old and 10 years old and 12 years, listen, my son can tell you, 15, 50, and I'm not saying that he probably didn't listen to those, but in my house, 15 is at the kitchen washing the dishes with the thing in his ears. I take it out. Let me listen to what you're listening to. 15 years. Am I listening to the boy?
His
Yeah.
head slaps was vital.
Wake up. Turn that off.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. Parenting, you have to police your children. You have to parent your children correctly, because a child at 9 years old, at 10 years old, those not supposed to be watching certain things or listening to certain things. Not only that, as parents, what are your children looking at you doing? What are you doing? Are you listening to those songs? Are you singing those songs? Are you drinking all kind and smoking weed and drugs and doing all these negative things in the presence of your children? Because now you're setting an example, and the example you set is what your children will follow. Okay. So your child at 9 years, in fact, I a 9 years old child not supposed to be on social media, not supposed to have a phone. I'm sorry.
Period.
I mean, they can have the phone to just, we call them the bomber phone. You just receive and send call.
Yeah,
No,
that's
no
it.
internet.
And listen, you can only call two people, me, daddy. That's it. You can't call no random number, thing lock off. Chat, yeah.
Now and how time and things have been advanced, yes, they can get a phone without internet.
Yes.
You just want to know that credit is on the phone. They can make a call, or
Location.
mommy and dad call them. Where
Yeah.
are you? School is
Come
finished.
home.
Be home XYZ time.
Yeah.
But all these social media and no. So, and teenage years is out there, and the influence and the peer pressure is more now than it was in my days.
Or
There's a
mine.
lot. And this is why we have so many young people depressed and on drugs and suicidal because of the peer pressure that they're facing out there.
Social media, auntie. I'm trying to keep up. Them such keeping up with the Joneses is no longer, I believe, keeping up with social media now.
I will not keep up with any Jones. I'm going to be in my lane. I'm not teaching my children to keep up with any Joneses or the Kardashians and them.
Auntie Easy don't kill off the Kardashians. A #1 American show. But me agree with you, Auntie, 100%. No, I agree with you 1,000%, Auntie. The parenting is so horrible. But how do you tell them, Auntie? Here's a big question for you as a woman. How do you tell a mother who is single, struggling through life? Like I said, emotional weakness is a problem that we have as human beings. It's sometimes you need somebody to prop us up and give us a shoulder. How do you tell a mother who's had 9 boyfriends, 3, 4 of them abuse her physically, 2 or 3 abuse her sexually, and she don't know much better, and she has struggling life, but she want to provide for her children, and she gonna make her OnlyFans and start make video in the house with the children to try to provide for them? How do you tell that mother, say, yo, you know, it's a bad example, and your children are gonna reap the reward of that example when she try to provide for them because she don't believe she don't believe she have no other means to provide for them? That is what them say about the OnlyFans when they have the children. Them say, yo, I do it. I have to do it because it's all I have. I don't have no other choice. I want to provide for my children, and this makes easy money.
All right, listen, I can understand as a single mother, you doing what we say by all means necessary, you doing what it takes to provide for your children. But while you're doing what you have to do to provide for your children, you need to do all that you have to do by all means necessary to protect your children from what you are doing. Your children don't need to know what you're doing to provide for them.
Yes.
That's true.
Yo, we love the answer, Auntie. It's me as educate, man. Educate, man. Yeah.
They need to remain innocent. All they gotta know, mommy's working or mommy's bringing in the bread, or they don't need to know what you're doing. Once it's not honorable, it's not high moral. Once it's something that can taint their life and destroy them mentally, psychologically, emotionally, protect them from it by all means necessary. By all means necessary, do what it takes to provide for your children. And by all means necessary, do what it takes to protect them. They don't need to see, they don't need to know. They just need to know that their belly is full and they're going to school and getting an education.
Come on.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, man, powerful. Yes, me, I say, Auntie, respect it to the max. You know. I appreciate that you take the time out to come on our show. You see me, I say? Not only did the audience get a chance to actually meet somebody that, you know what I'm saying, can bring enrichment to their life, but they could also learn something, get educated. And don't forget, you know, people, as you watch this and you get a little thing from it, like, subscribe, and share, you know. You see me, I say? Leave a comment. You see me, I say? The other day we get our first dislike. Leave a comment if you feel like, say, something we say you're doing right or wrong and you want to.
You know, that's fine. You're gonna get some dislike, and that's fine.
No, but we want the dislike. We want, not everybody's going to agree with us, but leave a comment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
share
leave
your
a
point
comment.
of views, comments.
Yeah.
Don't hesitate to share this video. You know what I mean? Each one teach one. You know how the scene goes. It's been an amazing interview. But before we leave, I would want to know if you, Dr. Peterkin, would you like to share any final comments, or you have anything you would want to promote or something?
You know what? What I really want to say is that, you know, all of us come from a past. We all have a past. Yes. Don't allow your past to conquer your future.
Amen.
Don't hold on to your past and stifle your future. Let it go. You know, as a child, you might have been through some stuff and gone through some stuff and experienced some stuff and heard some stuff and saw some stuff as a child. Yeah. Now you're an adult. Make the decision, make that choice to move away from that, to make yourself better, to be better, because you can become better.
Yes, all the time. Yeah. Remember, as a community.
Yes. And how do we reach you? How do we reach you for any counseling? Do on social media? You have a website or something?
Yeah, Auntie. Yeah, go ahead and give us the website, give us the Facebook, give us all the things.
Okay. I do have a page called Emotional Freedom Counseling and Therapy Clinic. That's my Facebook page, Emotional Freedom Counseling and Therapy Clinic. All my contact information, email address, and phone number is there.
Yes.
My email is also myemotionalfreedom@gmail.com. myemotionalfreedom@gmail.com.
myemotionalfreedom@gmail.com.
Yep.
Yeah. Or my Instagram account, my_emotional_freedom.
Yeah.
And that's my.
It's the same. Yeah.
All right.
And don't forget to know, at the end of this, people, please, Paul is on the end of the track. Go up to Paul's SoundCloud. Go up to Paul. It's P Smith on all platforms. All his platforms is P Smith. Go up there, support him, because his music is right, just like what we're trying to do. And don't forget, we're trying to create a community. We're trying to do something here where right-minded thinking people can come together and forge something that the next generation don't just fall upon them face. You see what I'm saying? So as you comment, think about that. As you watch the show, think about that and let this help you through your daily life and your struggles to do a little better or come a little bit closer to making the right choices, as Auntie said. You see what I'm saying? So big up, global state of mind.
Everything is a choice. Peace.
Cause we are the ones been fighting for the right to vote. It's no place that seems safe. So they've been praying for the night to go.